I can't find anything that I want to watch that doesn't have subtitles. Why is this happening?
Hey guys! Welcome to the channel. Another late plan with me, but here it is now. So let's get into it. Since it's still my break, I wanted to make a spread that's super summery and bright. I bought a sticker set last year that has this vibe and I knew it would be perfect for a bullet journal theme. I already used this style before on one of my class projects, but it was too nice to not do. I was planning on giving it a twist anyway. This is the second summer that I'm spending mostly indoors, and when we actually got to go outside and go on vacation, video coming soon, it was raining pretty hard. So I need to bring back some brightness and some fun. So the cover for this is gonna be a lot more artsy than I usually go. I wanted to make this reading nook window ledge thing where people can sit down and look out the window. But then the window has a small beach seat. You know that whole thing of like being trapped inside the house when there's the outside that you wish you could go to, which adds a bit of insult to injury that we were on a trip and it was raining super duper hard and now we're back in lockdown and it's so bright, sunny and warm outside. So yeah, I took some inspiration from that and that's why it's kinda artsy. It has some meaning. I wanted to emphasize how bright the beach is gonna be by making the window still look as plain as possible. So I take some washi tape and use it to make the windowsill. To make it look a little bit more interesting, I take my light brown washi tape and use it to make blinds on the window. To make the shape, I use a darkening of the layers to make it look like actual blinds. I make the seat a grayish pink color, but to prevent the issue of the pen ink smudging when you write it on washi tape and taking a really long time to dry, I write the month label first, then put the tape over it. This should prevent it from fading and smudging. When I place the tape over it, I make sure that there's enough of an overhang to cut out the diagonal shape. For the beach scene, I started with the seat, which is gonna be one of those beanbag chairs. I make the shape and color it in with pink. In the ocean, I wanted to make a banana boat to have something more colorful and interesting than a small sailboat or canoe. The sky is colored with my blue mild liner to start creating the horizon to separate the ocean from the sky. Then I start making the umbrella. I color the top part green and try to color it in so that it kinda looks like leaves. Since I didn't have space or the skill to draw a full tree, I make the umbrella look like a tiny tree. Moving on to the other side, I make a surfboard in the sand. To add some personality, I add a little moon to the surfboard and some geometric patterns with cool colors on the bottom of the board. Then the last part of the cover is a beach ball. To give a more summer twist to the usual red, yellow, and blue, I changed it up to make it pink, yellow, and aqua. The last part is just coloring the ocean and the sand. The sand color was actually really hard to find. Using my normal markers would make it too bright and none of my mild liners did the job. I settled for this peach highlighter I got from my aunt. She bought it for herself, but she gave it to me when she realized that when used on white paper, it didn't show up on one pass. The paper just looked generally wet, but it had no color. It took 5 passes to get the peach color, and by then the paper was soaked and ruined basically. But since this paper is pretty thick, I can get away with it. The peach also wasn't so bright, so it was perfect for making sand. To make the ocean, I take another marker and just color in the outline I drew earlier. I just need to erase the pencil marks and line a few of those that need it, and that's it for the cover. As usual, the cover has a relation to the weekly and the general look of the spreads, but it's not really any indication of what it's gonna look like. Like the JoJo spread I made earlier this year, I thought that the colorful aspect of the theme would be really helped by having a different color per day of the week. I just need to look through my washi tape drawer to find the right colors. I had to make a little change by making the washi tapes nearest to the spine a little longer just to cover the distance. To make the calendar, I make it out of the apple green pen. I'm using new pens this time, these juice pens that I borrowed from my sister. Since I have 3 spreads now with pink and 2 spreads that are supposed to be bright and colorful, I need to make sure that they look different enough since I'm using the same general template and size for all of them. I get out my theme stickers and find something that fits in the empty space. I need to trim it a little bit since the trimming on the stickers isn't that clean either. The month label is colored in with a darker pink marker. Then, with a green pen, I make the drop shadow on the text. I was trying to emulate a watermelon with the color combo, then I add some dots around the text. The next are the decoration, which would be a few drawings I made on the side. The first one is a flamingo. It's just a circle with an S-shaped neck, and the rest of the body is quote-unquote hidden behind the calendar. Then the rest are just leaves. These are the easiest leaves that I could draw. I then fill in my color code for the month and finish the decoration with a few more colorful dots. Each column is gonna get a dot matching the washi tape on top of it. The original idea was to write the dates on the dots with a white pen, but then the white pen wouldn't really work, so I went with a dark gray instead. and all that's left is to fill that out later. Now on to the weekly. Since it's another month of break, I'm trying another new format for the weekly. I realized when filling in spreads for last month that I wasn't really using that many rows for the things that I need to do. At most, I've used 8 rows and the rest are just left empty, so I'm addressing that with this. I already traced in the headers with a blue pen and the color changes per page. Then I start coloring in the big circles on the page with the summary colors. This should help bring in a more doable theme of adding colorful circles along with giving it the feel of summer, which is the main theme. Then some quick lines on the side of the headers to give it some extra detail. Since the header is blue, I decided to color the boxes on the bottom blue as well. My camera cut out and we go back to the footage when I've already made the labels and drew in the boxes for the shows, notes, and dailies. It now only has 12 rows maximum, so I wouldn't waste space on the spread. I still wanted my normal small monthly calendar, so I put that on the right side of the spread beside the notes section. To explain the color scheme, the circle in the middle is just an accent color, the page theme color is based on the next color from the middle, the calendar is written in the next outer color, and the week highlight is the color furthest from the center. Yeah, it sounds pretty complicated, but it gives the spread some variety without going too far. The date is just written in the dots with a black pen to keep it real simple. There's 4 more weeklies that I need to do, so while I make those, I'll finally tell you why the video scheduling has been so weird. Usually, I like posting my bullet journal related videos on the last Monday of the month. I do it that way since I like the consistency and not having to think about when to schedule certain videos. It also gives me the most time to work on them since they take up a lot of time. But then, for July, I didn't have a bullet journal video and the August plan with me is this video. I don't know if you guys really mind the moving around of videos, but I do, so I just wanted to explain. This is a new bullet journal. I got it since my last one was running out of pages. I know how I like making spreads, so I wanted the same kind of notebook that I'm used to, which is the Hirai journal, which can range from about 700 to 900 pesos, if I remember that correctly. My original journal was given to me as a gift, so when I got it, I could immediately use it. But this time, I was buying one for myself. The issue was funds. In the plan with me for June, I talked about this freelance coordinator thingy that I did in early May. I managed to get my payment in late July, so I could only order my new notebook when I got the money. Then the shipping and the everything took more time, and I could only get the notebook by the Monday the video was supposed to be posted, so I couldn't make the video by then. Another thing was the family trip I mentioned earlier in the video. My family and I went on a vacation to La Union at the end of July. Yeah, quick vlog about that coming soon. And since the new notebook would arrive on Monday, but we'd be out of the house for the rest of the week. So I couldn't really sketch new spreads since I didn't want to bring quote-unquote work on my vacation. So I had to settle for making the video when we got back. The new bullet journal means making a new setup since I needed to see which information needs to be migrated to the new one and which ones can stay in the old one. I finished the setup and I'll put that in the upper right corner if you haven't seen that yet. So making that would take another week to draw, film, and edit, and here we are. I have another bullet journal month like I did in January, so that's what I've been up to. It's just a bit more difficult than usual since making a plan with me takes up so much time and I'm basically making 3 this month. It does take a little bit of a toll on the creative juices. It's a lot of decisions and colors to be made, but also a lot of back pain. Each part of a plan with me recording takes about 4 hours, and there's multiple parts that get strung together in one video. Usually, I film it over the course of 3 to 4 days. And then, so that's 4 hours worth of hunching over my desk at a time to get a better view of what I'm making. So now let's just get back to the spreads. After I add the rest of the decoration dots to the weeklies, I go on to my habit tracker for the month. It's gonna be a horizontal bar type tracker. I prep all the colors I wanted to use and outline where I'm gonna place them. I use the markers to make a box around the area I'm gonna color just to make sure I know where. I use a bunch of different colors to help keep that variety. Then I go over my sketches with a black pen. Every label with a colored box in front of it gets a black label. I still try to keep the balance when it comes to colorful spreads so it doesn't look too overwhelming. Then for the other labels, I match the colored labels to the boxes on top of it, except for the last one. I didn't have any color of pen that looked close to the light pink I used, so I used orange to color the label instead. Then I alternate the colors when it came to making the top date labels. It was easy enough since there were 5 colors. The title is next, and I make that with a bunch of different colors. After some cleaning up of the lines and sketches with my eraser, I color in the boxes to give the spread some separation between the lines of each tracker. For the other trackers, I'm guessing many of you are familiar with the usual setup I use. I make this one with a combination of green, pink, and yellow to help set it apart from the other pink spreads. The green is for the dates, the pink is for the labels on top, then the yellow for the box around it. Then I trace in the header with a blue pen. To decorate, I make some small fruit drawings on top. To add some extra parts, I use the same kind of defective highlighter to make sand on the bottom. I take some of my stickers and also use that to decorate the page. Since I wanted to add a little bit more of a beach element, I used the same drawing style and make the same beach ball on the cover in this spread, but with different colors. Then I add a seashell on top of it. I thought that putting the lines of the seashell with a pen would look too dark and too overwhelming, so I just tried to add that with the way I was coloring it. I still think it looked empty, so I got my blue mound liner and did some quick swipes on the top to give it a blue sky. Then finishing up the habit trackers with those colorful dots that are all over the spreads. Then quick cut to the wallpaper for this month. Yeah, I actually managed to make a wallpaper. I made it while waiting for my notebook to arrive. The concept for this one is still bright and summery, but less beach and more like rooftop pool party. If you guys watch the Hermitcraft server, one of my reference photos is actually the rooftop pool from the Pacific headquarters from season 7. I already have a preset color palette like I usually do. After making the base of the building and the pool itself, I start by making some water slides and a diving board. I'm trying to get more into adding shadows to my wallpapers, and this is where I really tried to make them. A big part of this are the pool floaties. I work on a unicorn and a flamingo and a really weird supposed to be swan, which is my favorite. Then I try to add some variety with more flat floaties around the pool like this lemon slice. The flamingo actually took me a little bit more time since I needed to figure out how to make the head and the beak but also not make it look terrified. Moving on to the side of the pool, I wanted to have one of those lounge chairs, so I got a reference photo and moved it to the other side. I thought it would be better on the left since the slides actually take a big focal point from the right side. The color scheme and shading are actually inspired by a custom content thing I had when I still played Sims 4. To not make the side of the pool look so sad and alone, I add a towel on the chair and also a little side table and a drink in a coconut. Then I go ahead and make my favorite floaty of the bunch. The middle is gonna have this cardboard box, and it's actually a reference to Hermitcraft where they rode their boats down the slide, but I thought it would be funnier if someone from the pool party tried to use a cardboard box as a boat. I even added oars inside the box to really sell the fact that it was used as a boat. Even after making the shadows, I added a darker wavy line on the bottom of the box to make it look like it actually got wet on the way down. On the open side of the floor, I made a towel on the ground for people to sit on, and I coordinated that with the towel on the lounge chair. For the drawing part, the last thing I add is a shadow under the slides and the diving board. The month label is going to be a neon sign on the roof. The neon sign text is just made out of faded layers of a single color to make the reflective part of it. The actual calendar is going to be placed in a cloud in the sky since I didn't have a place to put it with the rest of the drawings. I just make a few more clouds to give it some company, and here's the wallpaper and the final spreads. I hope you guys really liked this video and it gave you a little bit of summer fun even if it might be really gloomy outside. I really got inspired by the bright summer that I really missed because of staying inside and the moving of the school year, landing my break in the rainy season. What do you guys think of the spreads? Any suggestions for monthly themes? Leave them in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, hit the like button, and if you want to see more videos like this from me, then hit the subscribe button and the bell to know when a new video is out. I try to upload every week, Monday nights at 8. I guess that's all for this video. Bye guys!